Hello and welcome to another episode of Backstage GW. I'm your host, Henry Murillo, and you're watching the only show that takes you behind the scenes of GW's on-campus performances. Coming up, we'll get acquainted with the historic GW comedy group Recess. Then, accomplished student playwright Maddie Hendricks will join me here in the studio to talk about her exciting new project, Playwrights Anonymous. But first, let's go backstage at Almost Maine, the most recent production by the theater department. It was a beautiful and heartfelt show that was made even better with the help of a special guest who had a unique insight into the mind of the playwright. Check it out.
This weekend, the Department of Theater and Dance will present the fanciful romantic comedy Almost Maine, directed by Elizabeth Kitsos-Kang. TRDA is known for putting up great productions, but this one promises to be especially interesting because the actors were treated to an intensive workshop with the playwright himself, Tony Award-nominated actor John Cariani. Our cameras were on the scene for this once-in-a-lifetime experience.
We've never worked with a really established playwright like John Cariani, who, you know, he's a pretty well-known guy, so yeah, this was unique and special.
I was really nervous, but at first he was like, oh my God, you guys aren't doing it really cheesy, thank you. He was really down to earth and really nice, and all of his notes just helped us explore and play with what we were already working with. He didn't change anything.
He was just incredibly helpful with little like acting things, like the really like specificities, like making these people be from Maine. Before it was just sort of like they were just people, but now he gave us like the little insights that would sort of make them really geographically specific. It was really good.
I feel like he really helped us really kind of focus on the beginning moments before anybody even really speaks, and just got us to think more, got the actors to think more about how people in Maine, their rhythm and how they live and their culture and how they think a lot before they speak.
He really helped us understand Maine culture and how people in Maine, they're not like talkative or like city people who talk really fast, and they have just like a way about them that's kind of laid back.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people in cities love to get information from strangers, and people from that place don't.
He was just sort of like, well, think about sincerity. That was a big thing. I think probably the whole night, think about like making these people sincere and not just country bumpkins who just sort of bop around, and you know, it was really aiming towards sincerity for a few of these people, which was important.
There were maybe one or two times where I said, oh, I'm kind of going in a different direction here, and he'd say, well, it's your play. But every other time, 99.9% of the time, he would say, oh, here's this moment we should look at a little differently because this is how people in Maine do it. And I would go, wow, yeah, let's do that. And it wouldn't necessarily change what we had found. It would just kind of deepen it and ground it more. So I learned so much from him and felt honored to be in his presence and to work with him. And we really worked collaboratively together while he was here.
Once you get into a set like this, you sort of feel small compared to it all. But he sort of, you know, was like, yeah, you know, let's raise the energy. Everyone was really trying to obviously impress him. And, but I think it really brought up everyone's A game and sort of reminded people, you know, how A, good is going, but B, where it can go more. And it sort of stopped us from becoming lazy and just sort of settling for what we had. People left that night being like, who were those new characters? And everyone came back the next day with all these awesome ideas. It was really cool.
Definitely. We all left feeling like really inspired, and I think the play has only gotten better, which I didn't think was possible.
We ended up sitting in the car and talking for another hour just about how amazing it had been and how much he had loved the students and the production and the work we had done, and he'd really felt like it had honored his work, which made us feel great.
No, and who knows if we'll ever get to do it again. So I think we'll all cherish that for a very long time.
You're free if you're sad. So if you two are sad, or if you two little lovebirds just want another couple of buds or something, you just let me know, all right? No, we're... Okay.
As a child, we always looked forward to recess. It was a way to break up the monotony of our busy school day. For members of GW's premier improv and comedy group, that's still very much the case. Join us as we take a look at all the fun and games of recess as they prepare for an upcoming performance.
Recess is GW's only improv sketch comedy group, and we are also one of the oldest college comedy groups in America. We have shows once a month where we do half an hour of sketch and half an hour of improv, usually featuring a video that we've made.
Before I came to school, I had seen some of their videos on YouTube, and I thought they were really funny, but I had never done comedy or anything before, so when I came, I was scared to try out, but I knew I wanted to, and I just tried out, and it worked out.
I mean, number one, it's very, very fun. Number two, we put on a show every month, so we're very productive. We have meetings every Monday through Thursday, 10 to midnight, which to many people is a very big and kind of scary thing to take up. But I mean, at some point, it just becomes a regular part of your day.
Monday nights we work on sketch, which we write all of our own sketch.
And sketch is basically just little scenes that we try to make funny. I mean, they're not always funny.
Oh, Sean, this is terrible.
Sean, I couldn't follow.
They're usually 3 to 5 minutes long. People come in with an idea written down in one-page format, and we workshop it as a group, bring it all together.
We give people pointers to make them better, and we work on those throughout the week and continually bring them in so that we have really good sketch.
Sometimes you'll come out with a completely different idea than what you came in with.
Yeah, even sometimes a sketch, somebody will write it, and then somebody will write the ending if they think they have a good idea, or you know, whatever it is. And yeah, when we make the show, we all decide what we think works best.
We'll be working on 10, 15, 20 sketches at a time as a group, and we narrow it down for the show to 6 to 10 usually.
And then the other half is the improv. And the improv we also practice every day throughout the week.
I think improv is probably my favorite just because it's really scary, but it's really fun, and it's really a team effort. You have to work together, you have to make each other look good, so that's been awesome.
I mean, we probably do many hours a week of just purely improv.
Wait, so you're telling me you've been in this house?
Yes!
For 15 years?
Indeed!
With all the men and booze you could possibly want.
It's a magical place, I tell you. Irene, come back to bed! Oh, I'm sorry, children. You guys better find somewhere else to stay tonight. Grandma has plans.
We also do lots of games just to keep us on our toes.
So we do energy exercises and focus exercises. So I think both of them make you work on thinking quick, thinking on your feet. Definitely the focus exercises more so. So you'll do word association or memorizing or whatever it is, and that definitely practice makes perfect.
It's covered in bull. It's covered in a storm.
I mean, for college, it's been the defining experience of my college time. I think it's where I found my best friends. It's what I'd never done comedy before coming to college, and I really found recess to be my place at GW.
I've loved it so much. It's the best. It's something I never thought I would do, but I'm so happy I did. And it's crazy, and it's fun, and awesome.
We're very comfortable with each other, and that's one thing I'll always have probably is their friendships as well. Yeah.
My guest today is Maddie Hendricks. She's a successful student playwright who wants to help other young writers find their voice as well. Thank you so much for joining me, Maddie.
Thank you.
So tell us how you got started writing plays.
Well, so my senior year of high school, I wrote a short play. It was only 10 pages for this contest, and everyone in the school or in my grade, in my class, did it. And I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just write a play, you know, no big deal. I'd been doing theater forever, I'd been writing forever, but I'd never submitted anything before. And I won, and it was this crazy contest, and it was just this unbelievable night. And ever since then, I was like, all right, maybe I could do that. So I've been writing nonstop since then, and now I'm a dramatic lit major here at GW and taking a lot of playwriting classes, and I love it.
So what was the name of this competition that you were involved with?
It was called the Fidelity Future Stage Playwriting Contest.
So we have a picture of you,
oh, no.
and I'm wondering if could we get this picture, please?
Oh God, the hair.
Is this the contest that you're talking about?
Yeah,
so you got to meet Elton John, though.
Yes.
And what was that like?
Good research. It was.
Do my homework.
It was incredible. Of course, it was very short. You know, snap a picture and then he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the play was on Broadway for one night, and in the theater that Billy Elliot takes place in, still does, the Imperial Theater. And so Elton John obviously wrote the book and lyrics for Billy Elliot, and so it was sort of part of the promotion of the whole thing. Elton came, and Queen Latifah was there. It was very crazy. I don't know. I really don't remember it very well. It was kind of like what people say about your wedding day.
Like a blur.
Yes, but it was incredible, and he was very nice, and there's a picture with my family somewhere in there too, and then, you know, in and out.
Wow, well that's great. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So what's your best advice for someone who kind of wants to follow that path and wants to become a playwright?
I mean, I'm still figuring it out now, but I would say that I joke that I'm over the hill now, you know. That was my prime. But I think the best thing is to just write every single day, no matter what you're even writing, if it's a poem, if it's a short story. But I think it's a muscle, and it needs to be worked all the time. And I think that someone who wants to really go into this world is going to have to write a lot of different kinds of things, and so they should just keep it up as much as possible and submit things. There's so many contests all over the place, and not for the sake of winning, but just because it gives you a reason to write more.
Right, motivation.
Yeah.
Well, you have started a way to motivate people to write plays, right? So tell me about Playwrights Anonymous.
So Playwrights Anonymous is a group that I started actually about 2 years ago, and the first reason I started it was actually because, well, the first reason is because I wanted to give deadlines to people, because I cannot work without a deadline, and this Fidelity Future Stage contest was so great. I mean, I wrote it an hour before the deadline, literally, and that's just how I work. And so I wanted to give other people the same opportunity and say, okay, they're due at midnight, it's in 2 weeks, just write it. And it works, so that's cool. And the other reason I started is because I wanted to create a sort of bridge between student theater and the department, because there's so many kids who do a little bit of that and a little bit of that.
Right.
But, and some people who cross over, like myself. And so our faculty advisor, Allison Curran, is unbelievable, and so she's been helping a lot with the whole thing from the very beginning. And that was also part of the reason I wanted to create a sort of bridge there.
Right. Okay, so this is under a different name now, though. So it used to be called Let's Write Plays. So it's still the same thing.
Yes.
So tell me how it works.
So basically, we put out an email or Facebook post and say, send us your plays, you know, you have 2 weeks to write it or something like that. And then a bunch of people send us their stuff. About 3 readers, usually this time it wasn't myself, sometimes it is, read the submissions, and then they pick 3 to 4 plays of all of them, usually around an hour and a half total. And then everybody comes, and we have actors and we have directors, and we have a night of reading. It's very casual, very relaxed, no performances. It's just a staged reading, and it's really just for the playwrights to be able to see their work in the mouths of actors, which is, you know, the whole point. And then we provide feedback, and everyone, not we, but, you know, the audience provides feedback and says what they thought about it, and then playwrights can submit again.
Wow, so it's a useful experience for them to kind of get some input from other people.
Yes, and I try every time to make it clear that it's not about, you know, what did you like and what did you not like, because it's not really a helpful thing for a playwright, because some people will always like things and some people will always not. And so it's more about, what did the work do for you? You know, what did you see how that character went from good to bad, or whatever it was, and then the playwright can be like, oh wow, that was not my intention, or yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Gotcha. Well, so you just had your first reading of the semester, right? So tell me about it. How'd it go?
It was so good. My favorite part about it is that I didn't know like anybody there. I only knew, literally, it's usually like the same people coming out over and over again, and this, it was so great. I think partially because I've really tried to delegate this semester, because I'm a senior and I want to make sure other people will take over the group when I leave. And so it was so successful. It was so relaxed. It was such a warm, supportive environment filled with people I'd never met before, all ages. It was wonderful.
That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to the next one. When is it?
It will be, the date is not set, but it will be probably late November, early December.
Okay, and if someone wants to get involved with that, they should?
They should check out our Facebook page, Playwrights Anonymous, contact me, or check out, no, that's it, our Facebook page. Or we will email you, we will track you down. We are in the beginning stages right now. We actually are just becoming a official university group. We just applied. So that
congratulations.
We'll get funding and then book cool spaces. So
good. All right, well, good luck with that. We're definitely looking forward to the next reading. If you're an inspiring playwright, make sure that you turn in your work to be considered for the next Playwrights Anonymous reading. Thank you so much for joining me, Maddie.
Thank you.
We've reached the end of this episode of Backstage GW, but don't worry, you can join us next time when we go behind the scenes of Dance Works, presented by the Department of Dance. To stay up to date, make sure you follow us on Twitter at BackstageGW and like us on Facebook. Remember, you can watch us anytime on our YouTube channel and catch us on Channel 61. I'm Henry Murillo, and I'll see you next time, Backstage.